We can't get distracted by the transfer window, the signings. Even if the Glazers sign Mbappe tomorrow, I would want them out, and I'm sure you would too. We've had these crazy big signings whenever the Glazers get any heat from the fans. Remember Falcao? Remember Di Maria? We were expecting something to come out yesterday because on Monday there was lots of different news agencies saying that Man United are going to announce something on Tuesday. Rio Ferdinand on his 5 Live podcast came out and also said that he's got inside source saying that something will happen on Tuesday. An announcement will be made Tuesday, which was yesterday. I didn't check with anybody, to be honest with you. I didn't check with anybody whether that is the case or not, but I presumed Rio's sources were legit and presumed that there would be a announcement. However, it dawned on me that Tuesday was 4th of July, a national holiday in the States, meaning there was literally 0% chance that the Glazers would announce anything because the stock market was closed. Everything was closed. I'm sure Rain Group were closed. All the companies were closed. All the offices were closed yesterday. So either Rio needs to lose that source or he's getting a bit carried away with the information he's receiving. I don't think he was off the mark completely. I believe that he was right in some of the information he's been providing. One of them being that the Glazers do not want to sell. Some of the Glazers do not want to sell and want to stay on, and some of the Glazers are happy to get rid and move on. That is true, and I've heard that, and I've explained that, and explained why that is the case. Now, let's explain something about the takeover. We work on mergers and acquisitions of large companies around the world. Manchester United is a huge company. The paperwork itself for the sale of the club will take weeks, if not months, to draft. And if it was a straightforward sale without any complications, or 5 separate Glazer siblings, all with different takes on whether they should sell or keep United, it would take maybe 3, maybe 4 months to complete. If it was a straightforward sale. However, this is not a straightforward takeover. It is huge. It's a huge club. There'll be lots of employees, lots of paperwork to be involved in, lots of due diligence. It will take months before this would actually complete, and I did report on that. So this taking 6-7 months already is understandable. As I reported in yesterday's show, there would be no announcement, and that at least one of the Glazers did not wish to sell, which means that the deal cannot be signed off on, which means we're stuck with the Glazers for right now. We are stuck with the Glazers for a little bit longer. But right now, the scenario sits at the Glazers not fully being on board selling United, and we are back to square one. The Glazers don't give a crap about the club, its heritage, its fans, or the people that have bid for the club. They don't care. They don't care whether they're wasting their time. They don't give a crap. We are without a paddle, people. We need to unite and organise a huge rally to send a message to the world and to the Glazers, their investors, their sponsors, their friends, that we will boycott the company, and that is the only way we can get rid of the Glazers. We can't get distracted by the transfer window, the signings. Even if the Glazers sign Mbappe tomorrow, I would want them out, and I'm sure you would too. We've had these crazy big signings whenever the Glazers get any heat from the fans. Remember Falcao? Remember Di Maria? You might even remember Sancho. Whenever the heat has been turned up on the Glazers, what they do is they pull out a huge transfer, and literally everybody gets distracted with that transfer and forgets the bigger picture. The bigger picture that the Glazers are still at the front of the club and they are still controlling everything. But we will all have to accept no player will be able to come in and change the flow of Manchester United. No one single player. We can't paper over the cracks. To sort out the issues, we need to go to the root of the problem, and all roads lead to the Glazers. And until we don't pull them out from Manchester United and get rid of them, we will have the same issues year on year. We need not to get distracted and remain absolutely 100% focused on our mission. The mission of getting rid of the Glazers from United. We could get something today. Remember, the USA wakes up around 2 p.m. UK time. The stock markets of New York open at 2:30 UK time. So if they were to announce anything, it would be after 2:30 p.m. or around 2:30 p.m. Usually that's what big companies that are reliant on the stock market to make announcements. They do make announcements around the afternoon in the US. Again, I have to stress this. I am not sure what direction this is going, because we have not even had a peep out of any of the sources. No one is saying anything, and this is why it surprises me sometimes when Rio Ferdinand has come out and said that he has been given some information as to what's going on behind the scenes with the takeover. And I'm literally pushing and begging for it to be true. I'm hoping, every ounce of me hopes what he says is true, that the Glazers have decided to sell to Sheikh Yassim and that they're going to move forward. Yet days pass by, weeks pass by, and that actual information turns out not to be true. If you recall back a couple of weeks ago, Rio Ferdinand said the same thing. He said, look, at train station, he said, right, okay, look, I've heard from my source, and we're gonna get an announcement tomorrow with Qatar winning the bid and getting to move to the next stage. That didn't happen. Weeks have passed, no one's heard anything, and now the similar statement has been made again by Rio Ferdinand, and again the day came and went, nothing's happened. However, I don't think he's off the mark. I do think something is happening behind the scenes, and there are some of the Glazers who are favouring a pure sellout and moving 100% away from the club. But there is one or two Glazers, as I said in my show yesterday, that are not willing to let go and are causing the issue. They need all of them to sign off on the paperwork. They can't have one or two sat there saying, I'm not signing the paperwork, because then there's no sale. You need all the sellers to sign off, and this is the biggest problem. We are dealing with an internal family issue, and the Glazers seem like they're going to drag us down with them. We need for all of this takeover saga to end, and we need it to end quick, because we need to go out there, sign a goalkeeper, sign a striker, and get things done. I mean, there's lots of other players that have been mentioned. Let's turn back our attention to the transfers for now. Let's go back to the transfers. There's Højlund still been mentioned, still been knocked around, but again, I did squash that theory, and I did say that rumour is not true right now. United haven't made any offers. There are loads of people and news agencies out there reporting that offers had been made. Absolutely not. No offer has been made. Amrabat has been mentioned. Yes, he's on the radar of Man United. They are looking at him closely, but no offers have been made yet. But he would be a class signing, in my opinion. He would be a very good player for Man United. He'd be like a new Roy Keane, personally. That's what I think. We need someone like that in the team, someone who doesn't take crap and just gets the dirty work done and does everything for the team. There's lots of talk, there's lots of rumours on all these transfers, like always with Man United involved in every single one of them, but the reality is we're not making any offers for any players right now. Everyone is sitting back. We've made our first signing. We are now sitting back and waiting for a lot of other players to sell before we can actually make our moves. We have got a short list of goalkeepers, of strikers that are there, but we're not going to make our move until near the end of the transfer window, I'm hearing from the sources. So there's plenty of time to get this takeover done. Let's wait and see what we get in terms of news today. Let's hope it's good, and then we'll catch each other later. Goodbye.